bumpy 2 hours pretty much. Alright, this game, speedrunning wise, really kind of stinks. It's probably one of the heaviest RNG runs you can ever have. And the first little bit of RNG is right here, the wind and the weather. So I got the wind in my face, which isn't all too bad on this first lake. Weather is partly sunny, which isn't what we hope for. We would hope for a little fog, but anyway. So this game, let's get my timer started here. There we go.
Those splits are world record splits, correct?
Yes. Well, since only one other person besides me plays this game, it's pretty easy to get world record. So this game consists of 3 screens. That first screen with the boat, where you drive around and select your spot to fish, and you got some awesome redneck-ish music going on. Second screen is the casting screen after you select the spot to fish. And the third screen is the retrieving screen. So what we're doing in this game is we're trying to look for mudders. The fish that kind of sit on the bottom, like right here under my lure. And hey, that's a bass. So that's a good thing. So we want to find those mudders. Hey, look at that. Speedrun strats right there. 1 foot catch. So what we're doing is looking for those fish. And each spot that I fish will have one of those fish. And now on this first lake, it's a 1 in 3 chance to actually find one of those in each cast. This lake has 2 other species of fish besides bass. That's bluegill and trout. And that's actually probably the heaviest bit of RNG in this game. Each spot that I select from the boat screen and go to the casting screen has 4 different spots to cast to. And I'll kind of show it off right here. You can sort of see the separation. You can go far left, mid right, and far right. So that second cast I made, I found a mudder, but it was a trout. So we don't want to catch that fish. We only want to catch bass.
Can I just say right off the bat that to the untrained eye, nothing spectacular happened when you had your 1 feet speed strat catch?
Yes.
Also,
go ahead.
The crew who said he didn't understand the game when he tried it as a kid. I think what you were doing wrong probably is that you were talking while playing.
Yes, you have to be very quiet. That's a trout right there. Yes, gotta be quiet so that the fish don't get scared away. Right. Good one, KVD. Alright, so...
I'll be here for a little bit.
So, moving on. The spots that I'm fishing right now, there's going to be a mudder either at 40 feet or right here at about 30 feet on the right side of the screen. That's another trout. So I'm already getting good RNG. Not good RNG. Next spot I'm going to fish, this area has 3 spots that I can find a mudder fish. So I can make 3 casts here. First I'm going to go mid-left. Moving on from the bad RNG of only having a 1 in 3 chance to actually find a fish you want to catch. That's a bluegill. The next bit of RNG is the fighting. Fighting the fish can be just terrible. This first lake, it's not really so bad, but once I get to the 3rd and 4th lake, it can get to like 20 or 25 minutes per fight. So trying to land those fish aggressively and quickly is extremely key to this game. And hopefully, if I can find a fish I want to catch, which this is not, I can kind of show off how the fighting works in this game. Alright, in this cast I'm going to be looking at about 35 feet. Should be right in the middle, but the fish that I want to find is usually fairly close to the boat. There he is, and that's a bass. I want to avoid this little guy who's trying to bite. So each fish has 3 phases. I was lucky there. He gave me rest phase the entire time. So 3 phases: rest phase, run phase, and fight phase. In rest phase, they just kind of let you pull them in easy, and then once they go to run phase, there's nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing you can do to reel in the fish when they go to that phase. You could have them into 1 or 2 feet from the boat, and just the fish will just decide, nope, I'm going to go to run phase and run out to 50. I mean, you are truly at the mercy of the fish when it comes to fighting them. So it's all RNG on whether you actually get a decent run or not. Alright, so gonna give a little shout out to Brysolf, the other guy who runs this game, who suggested that I use this spot. I'm stuck on a weed there. Since I got stuck on that weed, that bass wasn't really interested. It's kind of unusual how much you have to put action on your lure in this game. So right now when I find a mudder fish, I try to reel down to it, and then I tap the R button and wiggle back and forth, and that'll usually get it to mud. And then once you swimming away again. Once you get onto once it muds and it starts swimming towards you, you have to keep reeling your lure away from it. Otherwise, it's just going to swim away like it did these last 2 times, but that's because my lure got stuck in these weeds. So I want to just kind of keep going, and hope it gets attracted to my bait. Don't get bit by that little one. He bit me 3 times. Now I'm caught in the weeds, and I broke my line. This is going great. I'm going to go to a lure that's a little more weedless, or supposed to be more weedless.
Is there anything you can do to avoid the small fish from biting?
No.
No?
They will come right after you every time and bite you. You don't have to set the hook on them, is the nice thing. So the fish will usually pick up the lure and then swim around with it for a little bit, and you hold on to down to set the hook. And come on. There we go. Now he's in run phase. At the bottom of the screen you see 2 triangles with a little gray line in between them. Hey, that's a little one. Unbelievable. I can't believe I hooked into that one. So anyway, you look at the 2 triangles at the bottom of the screen, and they will signal how hard you are fighting and how hard the fish is fighting. And that one I'm going to have to throw back eventually. So because he bit instead of the big one. That sucks. Oh well. So when the triangle for the fish is towards the bottom of the screen, that means he's in rest phase. You can reel him in without worry, really. When it's in the middle, he's in run phase, and there's really nothing you can do. When the triangle's at the top of the screen, all the way to the right, then he's in fight phase, and that's where you can use a little bit of strategy and get a little more aggressive. You can actually reel in the fish when they're in fight phase, and that was a quick land. But tension will build pretty fast, and if that gray line in the middle, that's the line tension, if that gets all the way to the right, you're going to break the line and lose the fish. And then there are a few special things that bass can do when you're fighting them. They'll jump, which causes line tension to spike really fast. They can shake. If they do an underwater shake, they're in fight phase and you can't really reel them in, but what might happen is they're going to spit your hook, which also very bad. There's a bluegill. And then they can do a surface shake where they're in fight phase and you can actually reel them in. But most of the time, I mean, if they start shaking, it's about 50-50 whether they spit the hook or not. So,
I got a question.
So it's kind of RNG when you are fighting the fish, whether you get them in or not, I mean, forget the speed, just actually catching them sometimes is pretty difficult. So this is a really bad start. I honestly should be done by now from this lake.
So you only want to catch and hold on to the big ones, right? Because of the weigh-in at the end?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's RNG too. I played this game once, and I did everything right because I was under the supervision of Dan, and then I got beaten by the weigh-in, even though I had a pretty decent catch.
Yeah, the weigh-in can be brutal. Alright, I'm gonna switch spots here. Usually since I'm done by now, I don't even have to go to these backup spots. But we'll see. We'll see if we can find 2 more.
So would you say the brunt of the work in this run is actually went into mapping where possible basses are located?
Yes, for sure. Actually finding the fish is it's pretty much trial and error. But I know probably about 15 spots on each lake that I can go to. Right, this might be a trout, it might be a bass, I'm not sure. That's a trout.
So that's where the strategy is, just trying to link those spots together as fast as possible. I assume. I mean.
Yes, and that's where we get the famous lily pad skip in Lake 3.
Oh yeah, LPS. That's the real tech.
So, speaking of, you mentioned the weigh-in RNG before.
Yep.
Yeah, each fish, when you catch them, they all have the same sprite. Or the same sprite for the fish that you want to catch on a certain lake. But their estimate will vary widely. So, 2 of the fish that I have right now are right around 9 pounds, and one of them is like, I don't know, what was it, 6.5 or something like that. So on this lake you want them all around 9 pounds or so, because to get past each lake, or the first 2 lakes at least, you have to finish within the top 3. Go away, fish. And when you get to the weigh-in, there's a lot of RNG involved as well. And I will probably fail either this lake or Lake 2. Right, this fish is shaking underwater, which is bad. The only thing you can do when fish is shaking is try to build up line tension, but that doesn't always work. Right now, see, I'm reeling as hard as I can, but he was in run phase and just said, yeah, I'm gonna keep running. Now he's in fight phase, and I can sort of bring him in. Now he switched to run phase, and I can't do anything. Oh, fish, if you got stuck, I will kill you. So now, rest phase. I'm bringing him in fairly easily, no tension building. Now he's doing a surface shake, and I hope not to lose him. He transitioned right into a jump. Luckily, I didn't hold on to reeling, so he didn't break the line. And this fish is only going to be about another 6-pounder. It's pretty little. So going back to the weigh-in RNG, yeah, you have to finish 3rd or better on each of these first 2 lakes. And 3rd place on this first lake will vary anywhere from about 33 pounds total up to 39 pounds. And if you get a 35 or a 39 pound 3rd place, I mean, you're pretty much just screwed. So I need one more. Hopefully I can get it on this next cast, otherwise I kind of have to take my boat pretty far away from the weigh-in dock. Yeah, and KVD, when he played this, he wound up with like a 36 pound weigh-in or something like that. But 3rd place wound up being 38 pounds, so he kind of got screwed out of passing the first lake.
That's how Joe beat me.
Yes, our other guy that was supposed to help with commentary, Joe Reinreb, he has to work today, but anywho. So this is about the worst Lake 1 that I could ever imagine. I usually never have to fish these last 2 or 3 spots that I've been at. Alright, that looks like a bluegill. Yep. Usually I'm off this lake at about 10 minutes or so. Anything over 10 is a reset, typically. I don't know why I kept 13:21 in my world record run. That's another bluegill. So, Lake 2, relative to any other lake, is by far the worst. It's got the worst RNG. You add another species of fish, and you also add small bass that can be mudders. Well, 3 non-bass in that spot. So your odds of actually finding a fish that you want to catch jump from 1 in 3 to 1 in 5. So hopefully I'm just getting all the bad luck out of the way right now. That's all we can hope for. And Lake 2 has the worst weigh-in RNG as well. Third place can be anywhere from like 53 pounds all the way up to like 68 pounds I've seen. Usually I'm weighing in about 62 or 63. Luckily I played this game beforehand this week and got some passwords, so I'll be finishing the game no matter what, no matter how slow it goes.
So can I just drop a quick question here?
Yes.
From chat, someone asked if there are any cool Easter eggs in this game. And I honestly don't know this, but you would probably.
No, I don't think so. Perhaps they're referring to what Bassmaster Classic has. It's another Sega and SNES fishing simulator. There's a spot on the third lake in that game where you can catch like a 75-pound bass or something like that.
Wow.
There's a very specific spot you have to travel through this really long winding channel to get to. Alright, finally. Bass number 5. Now I can go away in.
And
yes, beyond passwords.
A somewhat less serious question from earlier. Is there any whaling and spearfishing in this game?
The fish on Lake 4, honestly, when you see their shadows, it looks like a whale. So, down on the bottom of the screen, this is kind of your menu. I switched to this arrow to get rid of the clock, because otherwise if you weigh in and that clock is still on, it'll count the time all the way up to 4:30. Alright, 38 pounds. That is not good weigh-in RNG right there. But my first one being a 7-pounder, I think we should be good.
So that's another interesting question here, is what's the biggest bass you've ever caught in this game?
24 and a half, I believe. That's back when I was, 15 years old or so, and I played this game like a lunatic. I still kind of am a lunatic just because I actually speedrun this. But then again, I speedrun Zelda 2, so DFTG.
Would you put it up as your Facebook photo if you catch it right now?
That it's gonna be about in another hour and a half. Alright, I'm gonna be moving on.
Yeah! Thank you, RNGesus.
Alright, so we are now 5 minutes behind world record pace. And on to Lake 2, the worst of all lakes, and I have really bad RNG here. Huh. I hate getting fog on this lake. It's the worst, because it makes the sprites really hard to see in a couple spots. So, I have pretty much summarized the entire game. It's just going to be another hour and a half or so of me catching fish. So we'll move on. Carl, you said you had to get going to your weekly football game or something?
Yeah, in about 15 minutes.
15
That's right.
minutes. All right. Well, so for those of you guys who don't know who my co-commentator is, KVD, he's a Super Mario Kart extraordinaire.
Well, thank you.
Stuck on that rock. That was a catfish anyway. Currently on the Super Mario Kart time trial competition site, how many world records do you hold in PAL? Like 15 or something? 13?
I have to look it up, actually.
Oh, you don't even know? It's somewhere around 15 for both PAL and NTSC side.
It's 13 on PAL and 15 on NTSC.
Well, there we go. I was close enough.
Yeah.
And anyway, he is currently number 2 in the world. Oh, and I bounced off the dock. Next to, right behind Guillaume Leviac. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Of
sort of.
France. And
Yeah,
I have to
about
cast really
that.
short.
I'm like 4 PRs behind him.
Yes,
Well, 4.
so KVD is making a valiant effort to take back his world championship from Guillaume. And it is... So you're quite close.
4 finish points. 4 positions on any chart, pretty much. And he's not playing right now, so...
Well, it'll happen soon. So,
Yep.
along with his time trial prowess, KVD has also played Super Mario Kart at a couple GDQs. He was at AGDQ 16 and 17.
That's
and
right.
AGDQ 16, I had the privilege of commentating, and it was probably the closest race in the history of all GDQs. It wound up like 12 tenths of a second, or 12 hundredths of a second, I should say, apart
Yeah, 12.
from he and Neo. So talk about that, KVD.
Well, that's it sounds a bit cheesy maybe, but it's probably the highlight of my gaming quote-unquote career. It's pretty hard to top that, I would say. Even though I didn't win, Neo was the guy that actually finished by a hairbreadth. That was really something else, for sure. Thanks for commentating that run, because that was the best commentary we could have possibly asked for.
Well, thank you. You know, probably the best compliment I've ever received about that commentary. I mean, a few people in our community gave me a little bit of a thumbs up, but of course they're going to support their own. But probably the best thing I ever saw was on the YouTube video that you can see. Someone in the comments said, "Guy on the couch, A+." So, and if anyone knows anything about YouTube comments, it just makes you weep for humanity if you ever read those. So, so one positive thing.
Worse. Back in the day. But yeah, you're still right.
So, you did, let's see, that was the 150cc All Cups race against Neo, and then this year you did time trial against the godfather of SMK, Sami Chetan.
Who is the regular racer known in this entire community, because he really good at avoiding risks. I can't put my mind to it. At some point I'm gonna take risks. Or at least more than he does.
Well, hopefully we get to see some risk-taking when you have your run on Wednesday for the SNES Superstars.
Right
Hopefully
off the
we
bat,
can see Ghost Valley 1 platform jump.
Gotta go for that one for sure.
And long boosting on Mario Circuit 2.
I'm not so sure about that.
You can use Scoob's new strat. Come on.
Exactly. Even harder. See, Sven is in chat. Shoutouts. Keep the
Hey,
commentary
Sven.
on SDQ run. As it happens. This year.
So, of all the GDQs you've been to, what was your best experience?
Outside of course, the photo finish with Neo that we did, it was, I gotta say, eating at the 4th of July, the prime rib, hands down the best piece of meat I've ever eaten. I'm not even kidding. That was fantastic.
I was kind of hoping you would say something like that.
You were fishing for it.
Oh, good pun, KVD, fishing for it.
I'll only be here for 10 minutes more, so.
All right.
Gotta make them count.
Uh-oh, this could be really bad right here.
Yeah, we were on the porch of his house in the suburbs of Minneapolis with Joe and his girlfriend Patrick, your wife Jessica, and we're having
Now,
really...
you just made it sound like Joe's girlfriend's name was Patrick right there.
I did?
Yeah, Joe and his girlfriend, Patrick.
Oh, Patrick does some cross-dressing every now and then.
Yes, that's Meridian Prime he's referring to.
Yeah.
Who is interested in blindfold runs for some reason. But anyway, yeah, that was a great experience for me too, having all you guys. So we would hang out at my place and not spend money on a hotel, and then just drive into Minneapolis every morning for GDQ. Except on 4th of July, there weren't really all that many runs we were interested in, besides Fast at CC's Mega Man 3. So we kind of just put that on the TV and then drank pretty heavily the rest of the day.
Yep.
Speaking of drinking and heavily, it is a requirement if you run this game that you have a cooler of beer by your side.
I'll play this game with that.
And you gotta take a drink for every single fish that you catch. Which, yes, I am doing. So, cheers.
Donk!
I donated blood this morning, so I'm gonna go easy on it. 10.6, that's actually a fairly small one for this lake. Really didn't want to see that, especially after how long it took to catch. I see from Ajax Vanderbilt, how do you actually win this game? So, there are 4 lakes that you have to go to in this game, 4 tournaments. And you have to pass the first 3 lakes by getting 3rd place on Lake 1 and Lake 2, which I'm on right now. And you have to finish in the top 10 on Lake 3. And then once you get to Lake 4, where dreams go to die, you have to win that tournament. It looks like a catfish. Can't really tell because it's foggy. So yes, just catch lots of big bass and pray, basically. Alright, so I'm banging into this guy's dock a bunch of times, trying to get out. First 8 casts, just 1 fish. This is not looking good.
So would it be fair to say that your Twitch chat is typecasting you as a Super Black Bass player? If they're always asking about you running this game?
Yeah, I have no idea why that happens.
It's a cult, is what it is.
One of the people that I hope can join in commentary, he was at work, and he told me that he hoped to get back in time, is Ness Martin of Sweden. He, for some reason, he always comes into my chat and asks me to play Super Black Bass, and I just don't understand it. I just don't get why anyone would want to watch this game. I'm really eternally grateful that everyone in chat is sticking with it, just because it's the SNES Superstars Marathon. but I totally understand all the Resident Sleeper emotes that I've seen.
So, do you actually submit this to GDQs?
I did for SGDQ 16 and just the first lake, because the problem with this game, it's like the first lake you see all the technique and whatnot, and then it's another hour and a half, and I just can't imagine in a major marathon like that putting anyone through. Wow, 8.5, that's tiny. I can't put anyone through this sleeper fest of a game, except SNES Superstars folk, of course. Oh, Enchantress of Numbers in chat.
Yep.
Saying shots fired here. She's another one that for some reason likes to watch this game.
He's demanding LPS, by the way.
Well, we can only hope.
No pressure.
So I'm out of that spot. I'm on to the spot that this is the reason why I hate fog on this level. Because it's most of the time the mudder fish that you want to catch is going to be on the left side of the screen at about 60 feet or so. But because of the shadows, you can't really see it. Now I can tell my lure just swam under the fish, and now it's mudding. You can see the mud. That's fine. That's a Lake 1 bass. I don't mind. Darn it. Anybody watching from a fishing boat? That would be pretty sweet, huh, Fiesel? So, anyway. One cool thing about this game, I don't know if it's cool or just kind of desperate, I have a bounty on this game. If you want to speedrun it, and you sub 2 hours, you get $20 from me.
I have this game.
Yes, I gave out like 3 or 4 copies at SGDQ 16 to random people who have yet to even try playing it. And if you break the world record, I'll give you $100.
No way.
Oh yeah.
It's not gonna happen though.
Oh my, that 138 time, that's gonna be nearly impossible to beat.
Like a super
Lake 4
outlier.
was so good. I finished Lake 3 in under an hour, which is unheard of. And the RNG on this game just has to align so beautifully. I mean, I have been like 15 minutes ahead. That means he's swimming away. I've been 15 minutes ahead of PB going into the final lake and wind up losing by like 20 minutes. It's that
So
bad.
How many sub 2 hours have you done?
Sub 2 hours, I think I've done it only like 4 times.
The closest you've been to 138 is?
It's probably like 149, I think I had about 2 or 3 months ago.
Definitely an outlier then.
So it's gonna be so difficult. Now this is a pretty decent fish that I just hooked into, and it's kind of hard to tell because the sprites are all the same, but usually when the fish goes into rest phase, you can tell that, yeah, this one's gonna be a 12 or 13 pounder, just because of how high the triangle is. So that was a pretty quick catch, so things are looking up maybe.
Quick question from chat. What's your favorite fish or best pun you have ever heard while playing this game?
Best pun while playing the game. Oh my god. I have no idea. That question can kiss my bass.
There you go.
Oh, but-dum. Yeah. This game really kicks bass. I don't know. Take it right in the bass. I don't know. They're all pretty bad. They usually always refer to a slang term for a part of the human anatomy. So
I think it's interesting to maybe tell people that you're actually also a bass fisher in real life.
oh yeah, I'm pretty much obsessed with it.
There's basses all over the walls in his house, so that's already goes to show something, I guess.
That's a half-truth. I have one bass that's hanging on my wall. It was a 21-incher that I caught back in August of 2003.
Surely there's more than one reference to basses on your walls, though, right? Am I just making this up?
No, there... yes. There are... I have, like, pictures of fish on my fireplace mantle, and my little coat hooks have something about fishing on them. And then I also have two fish in my kitchen, on my kitchen wall. One's a sunfish, one's a crappie.
So people in chat actually made drop the bass joke that I wasn't gonna do. So there you go, thanks for filling that one.
What was that? This run is really kicking bass right now? Something like that?
Drop the bass.
Yes, as long as you don't pronounce the fish like the musical instrument, then that's okay. But with that pun, it seems to work. This fish is going to be little. But luckily it was a good catch. I am probably going to lose this lake and have to use a password.
How many fish do you have in your basement?
In my basement? I don't have a basement. So yeah, I just have a 2-story house. Is that fish 3? Oh, fish 4. All right, good. One more to go until I fail miserably at the weigh-in.
So I'm gonna get out of here. I wish you good luck with the rest of the run, and hopefully you get world record.
it ain't gonna happen right now.
Failing that, hopefully you get sub 2. And failing that, hopefully you'll finish. Yeah, and hopefully also someone will join you in chat commentary. That should happen.
Yes,
so,
so anyone that's in chat right now that would like to join Discord, or Feasel, or Myth, well, Eon I know is at work. I tried to, so is Highlander GCB, I tried to peg them for commentary. I don't know if Scavenger is around. I asked him to come in as well and rep, but I don't know, lots of people at work right now. Crazy, it's like 1:30 p.m. and 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, what is that?
It's prime time for being at a job. Night shift is best.
Yep. Alright, man. Catch you later.
Alright, see you, KVD. Thank you for being here. Everyone say bye to Karel van Dijvenboden.
Bye-bye.
So, in chat, I see you're talking about the bass fishing run at AGDQ this year. We'll make a quick mention of that. And I'll try to be focusing on chat a little bit more. Pretty much it's going too fast for what I could keep up with and also play at the same time, but I'll do my best. Carl. Lilypad Skip is real tech. He is lying about that. So, yeah, that bass fishing game at GDQ, I thought it was pretty awesome. Although I don't really think the game is as good of a fishing simulator as this one, at least in comparison to being a tournament simulation. This game actually outdoes it. But the run was top-notch, because fuzziness he was awesome. Good charisma on that. That's a trout. I want to get out of here. Great charisma, really just fun atmosphere in there with all the people going nuts. When that little fish jumped in front of that big one and the room just exploded, that was pretty sweet. And then I think it was either his second or third lake. He finished he caught the big fish just under the gun and was able to move on. So that was quite exciting. Why am I banned if I mention AGDQ? When is a lake finished? A lake is finished when I catch 5 of these big ones, and then I go way in. You gotta get 5. And then if you get 3rd place or better, you move on to the next tournament, the next lake. And catching 5 fish on Lake 1, like 5 big fish on Lake 1, you have about a 85 to 90% chance of actually moving on. On this lake, it's about 50-50, maybe 60-40 that you move on. Lake 3 and Lake 4 are pretty much guaranteed. If you get all 5 big ones, you're gonna move on. Or Lake 4, you have to win, and then you beat the game. Is there a swordfish fishing game I just saw? For the NES, there's a game called Blue Marlin, and I believe that's about as close as you're gonna get. You can catch swordfish in there, but only blue marlin count for the tournament, and there's a great example of a fish getting to 1 foot and deciding it was time to turn around. So he's a real jerk, and now he's just swimming away. And like I mentioned before, there is absolutely nothing that you can do about that. I'm sure it is playable if you're colorblind. You can barely see the fish outlines right now because it's foggy. And foggy on Lake 2 is bad. So please, chat, keep the questions coming. Honestly, if you're colorblind, you might have a little bit of trouble distinguishing between bass and trout. Because bass are green, trout are pink. So if you're red-green colorblind, there might be a little bit of discrepancy there. But you can kind of tell just by the way the fins are animated. Alright, so now I've caught my 5th one, and I'm headed in. Well, thank you, Ashen. Alright, we'll see how the RNG plays out on this. Oh my god, 66-9? There's no way. No chance I move it on. That is terrible. So this will be a reset and a password. What does Dan H like to fish for? In real life, I fish for largemouth bass, just like on this game. The local lake that I fish, I'm from Minnesota. I fish on a lake that's in Victoria, Minnesota, a very small town. Little lake that has absolutely phenomenal bass fishing. So yeah, I'm going to be at like 62 pounds. I already know that I didn't move past because the dialogue said that stringer of fish looks good. Oh my god, 6th place. And didn't win, so I have to move on. And now I'm going to put in a password, and this game has the classic, like, 22 character passwords or something like that. So here we go, on to Lake 3 the cheater way, just so I can finish a run. Whoops, that was an X. Can't read my own handwriting. Alright, here we go. Yes, definitely cheater percent. Alright, fog on this lake is good. So first spot we go to, this little shallow area. Yes, hopefully we get lily pad skip. Shallow rocky area, there's 3 spots to cast in each spot that I'm gonna fish. Actually, there's 2 in one spot, so hopefully I catch 5 bass within 14 casts. It's pretty rare, but it's doable. No, I got 6th, therefore had to move on. You have to be top 3 to move on. And I had 61 pounds, which typically, I mean, you can win that lake with that much. Sometimes first place is up to like 58 pounds only. So now check out the sprite for Lake 3 and Lake 4 bass. They get lots bigger and lots harder to catch. So one thing I haven't mentioned yet is the stamina of the fish. Lake 1, and on the bottom of the screen, the triangles, it's a nice dark blue right now. On Lake 1, it takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes before that blue starts to change color to like a light green, then yellow, then orange, then red. Once they're at red, then you just reel them in easy. But on this lake and the next lake, it can take up to 20 minutes for them to... Okay, that was strange. He got caught in the weeds and cut my line. That really shouldn't happen. Anyway, take anywhere of about like 20 minutes before they start to even get tired. So that getting caught in the weeds while fighting the fish is pretty rare. It happens, but it's rare. And I can see a fish at the top of the screen there, so now that I know where he is, I'll be able to get him to mud. And I don't think this is a bass. And there's a little one. Oh, the leg is real. Yeah, that's a trout. So I'm moving on. There's actually a real danger of fishing in this area, and not just the weeds randomly breaking your line. It sometimes happens in the lily pads too, but in this area in particular, there are rocks. And if a fish goes into run phase and dives down and gets stuck on a rock, he can be stuck indefinitely. And if you wait around about 40 minutes, he'll get tired, and then you can pull him in. But I'm not going to do that. So if a fish gets stuck on one of these rocks, I'm just going to cut the line and say forget it. And that looks too little to be a bass that I want to catch. Get sunburned and hammered, I see in the chat. Well, when you're playing a video game, hammered is definitely an option. How many lakes have bass and trout? Is that common? Considering largemouth bass are everywhere, probably it's common enough. I know that the unofficial world record bass that was caught in California about, God, that's probably 10 years ago. That's a Lake 2 bass. I don't want him. So there was the current world record is 22 pounds 4 ounces, caught in the 1930s on Lake Montgomery in Georgia. There actually might have been, that record might have been broken in the last year or so. Someone in Japan caught a bass that was bigger than that. But the official one, I believe, is still the 22 pound, 22 and a quarter. About, let's see, 12 or 13 years ago. It was right around when I was 18 or so that ages me a little bit. A guy caught a 25-pound 1 ounce bass on Lake Dixon in California. And that lake is a small lake in southern Cal, and they stock the crap out of it with rainbow trout. And there are bass just naturally in there. And all the really big bass just eat all the rainbow trout that they catch. So, and then a Lake 2 bass question mark I saw in chat. Yes. So these Lakes 2, 3, and 4 kind of troll you. They'll give you a mutter fish that's a bass, but it'll be the sprite of the lake previous. So I have even though there's only 4 species of fish to catch on this lake, I actually have a 1 in 5 chance of finding a fish that I actually want to catch. Just one more way the game decides to screw you over. So those last few fish were all northerns. Don't want to catch them, even though they are so tasty. So now each of these spots I have moved, probably 20 feet, and I get 3 new casts. Each time you move about a boat length, I think the game registers that as a new spot. There we go, that's a fish I want to catch. Now I just have to try to keep them away from these rocks right here, if you can see that little bit of kind of light colored area in the middle towards the right center of the screen. So there's a good whale for you right there. Now if I could spear this fish, it would make life a lot easier, but I can't. I actually have to catch it. Looking back in chat, that was a pretty funny Yahoo News advertisement I saw. Real bass fishermen hate him. He catches bass the easy way. Yeah. Take all those diet pills or whatever. Graphics in this game, the overhead view, it can be kind of stale. It's kind of neat how the fish jumps, even though it's only 4 to 6, something like that. Actual different pictures. For all you FFZ emote users, make sure you add black bass to your channel. Both B's are capitalized. Emote created by Enchantress of Numbers. It's actually really well done. It's a sweet emote. Oh, Jollies with the nostalgia. What's my largest in real life fish? Well, it depends on the species. The largest fish I've ever caught on a rod and reel, hook and line, was like a 14-pound carp. Maybe it was 13, I don't know. Just kind of estimated it. For northern pike, a 37-incher. That's about 11 to 12 pounds. For largemouth bass, 22 3/4 inches. That's about 7. Oh, underwater shake. This is really bad. And he let go. This is a nightmare, this lake. I want to cast short here. I mean, this couldn't be going any worse. Anywho. So, running down the list, yeah, that 7-pound bass was pretty spectacular catch, especially living in Minnesota. There, we don't have much of a growing season. But, I mean, my lake, the lake that I fish is one of the best in my area, in the entire, like, Minneapolis and St. Paul metro area. Not gonna say the name of it, even though the chances are basically zero that someone that would actually fish that lake that's in chat right now. Still, I want to protect it. So, lily pad skip, complete fail. I haven't caught a bass yet. One broke my line, one shook off. So now I'm going to the lily pads, where I get 4 spots and 14 casts. So going down the list of in real life fish, if you don't count hook and line, I have speared carp that are right around 45 or 50 pounds. Both just getting in the water and spearing them with a pitchfork, and also shooting them with my bow and arrow. Now that is quite a thrill, having one of those on, shooting one of those and then reeling it in with an arrow. I'm going to switch to a frog here, because lily pads, and plus it's a little more weedless. Don't get caught up quite as much. No LPS on. I only had 2 opportunities to catch a bass and I failed at both of them. There we go. That's what I want to see. Nice big old whale. I tried to 1-foot it there. So speedrun strats, trying to catch these fish at just 1 foot away from the boat. This is heavy RNG. You gotta get the fish to bite at about 2 feet, because oftentimes they swim around with the lure in their mouth before they actually decide to bite. And when it picks up the lure, after a little while, you'll hear like a little snap, like a twig is breaking or something like that, and that's actually the fish biting. Hey, come on. Stay with me here, fella. Good question, X-Factor. I speedrun this game because I enjoy it. I have enjoyed this game, I don't know, since I was in my teenage years. And the reason I started speedrunning it is because one day I was in Lack Attack's chat when he was playing, I don't know, he must have been playing Zelda or something, or Mario 64, and Absnerdity came in there. And Lax said something about, yeah, we love it when you play all these awful Super Nintendo games. And I suggested to him that he speedrun this game. And he goes, I've never even heard of that game or something like that. I'm like, well, has anyone ever speedrun it? And he told me, yeah, I doubt it. So that's the reason why I speedrun it. Alright, going back to the 1 foot catch, very hard to do. Because what you try to do is get the fish to bite at about 2 feet from the boat, and then oftentimes they'll swim forward with it. And if they swim forward past 1 foot, and you set the hook, it won't count. So they have to bite when it's at 1 foot and then swim into the boat, and you just automatically land them. Tough to do. Hopefully, I pulled it off once earlier, kind of by accident. Hopefully I'll be able to do it again. Had to drink my beer because I just caught one. Ah, fishing mini games. I just saw get mentioned in chat. Yes, I spent lots of time. Here we go. I'll try to 1 foot this one. I spent lots of time in the mini game. I'll switch to a crankbait to get that one up. Twilight Princess. That fishing area. Trying to catch the Hylian loach. Spent way more time than I would like to admit trying to get the frog lure, playing the roll goal game. I also did check out an FAQ to get the sinking lure. Oh! I hooked him at 1 foot and he decided to go to run phase immediately. But I mean, it's kind of interesting how they incorporated it into that game. It's really not essential. You get a heart container out of it. And a bottle you get at that area. But not on the lure fishing. And there are plenty of other places to catch Hylian loaches, but not that giganto one that you catch in the lily pads in the summer. So that was pretty interesting. Obtaining the frog lure and catching about a dozen Hylian bass before the loach finally hit. So a little more in-depth about the fighting in this game. When a fish is in run phase, I've mentioned that there's really nothing you can do to bring it in. But oftentimes I'll tap the A button, which is the reel button. And the game kind of reads your inputs, so like that. I try to bait the fish into jumping, which usually breaks its run phase, and it'll go to rest phase or fight phase or something like that. And also jumping really tires them out quickly. So it's key to make a fish jump quite a bit. This guy isn't cooperating too much in that regard. What kind of lures do I use in real life? Alright, so if I'm fishing for bass or northern pike, I use MEP spinners. Number 3 MEPs with a fire tiger blade that's yellow on top, green in the middle, and orangish red on the bottom. It's kind of in a stripy, rainbowish pattern. And then a yellow skirt on it. Absolutely dynamite. Especially on my lake, there's a little bay on the southern side that's protected from the cold north wind, and it seems like every single fish on the lake congregates into that area in the springtime. And the lily pads in that area late in the summer just make that area unfishable. Just completely useless. You can't get your boat in there, you can't get a line in there, it's just impossible. But in the springtime, before the lily pads grow, the spinner, just absolute dynamite. Bass and northerns both go nuts for it. Last year, the first day I was out, right around April 20th, about a 60-degree day, I wound up catching over 70 bass, and I had either 19 or 20 northerns in 2.5 hours. I mean, that is just non-stop action. Like, every 3 casts, I would get one on, and land one, and quite a few really nice ones. Got two northerns over 30 inches, a 31 and a 33 incher, and I think 6 or 7 of my bass were over 20, which is quite large in Minnesota. And then later in the season, or like when I'm fishing when the lily pads are up, yes, right around April 20th. There's a reason why I remember it was... No, I haven't done that since I was a junior in high school. 14 years it's been. Anyway, when the lily pads are grown in, or I'm fishing around docks, I use a Texas rig jerk shad, no weight. Skip it under docks and kind of let it sink really slowly. Looks like a dead minnow. Then you give it a couple pops and it twitches back and forth. Great lure. Very fun to fish with, especially when you give it a couple twitches and it pops onto the surface, and that's when a bass comes on the surface and hits it. Very fun. A lot of fun using that lure. Otherwise, deep water, I typically Texas rig a plastic worm with a quarter ounce weight. Just try to go on a deep edge of the weed line. Ah, the King of the Hill fishing episode. I have no idea if that's grounded in reality or anything. The good old American earthworm, though, that Hank uses to catch a very small fish to convince the judge that he's innocent. That does work. I mean, bass eat pretty much anything, but there's nothing wrong with going with the tried and true. An earthworm, a sucker minnow, something, anything like that. S-Bread is confused. I am fighting this fish as best as I can. Every time it jumps, I'm trying to be really careful so you look at the bottom, the two blue triangles. The one on the top is the fish. The one on the bottom is me. Right now he's in fight phase. I can reel him in, but it really builds tension quickly. When his triangle is in the middle on top, that means he goes into run phase, and there's nothing I can do. And there we go. Fish in the boat. That's a drink of my beer. Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA. I actually have to open another one pretty soon. That's a bluegill. Get out of there. And yes, if you were wondering, I have beers in a cooler. I only got 4 more of them though. I brought 6 with me. The rest are in the fridge. Really, another bluegill? Come on, man. Feels bad, man. Actually, 14 pounds on this lake is pretty little. It's more than likely underestimated. When you catch a fish, the weight they give you is an estimate. And when you go to the weigh-in, you could be under or overestimated by quite a big margin. All about that black bass. Yes, there actually is a pretty funny YouTube video out there with All About That Bass. The lyrics change to All About That Bass. pretty sure it's on YouTube. I know I saw it posted on someone's Facebook. I have a lot of fishing friends on Facebook. Unfortunately, it's half of it is like a really fat guy without a shirt on, lying around on the ground and like sort of twerking. So that part's kind of awkward, but the actual lyrics are fairly clever. No, the cooler I have is like a little lunchbox sort of thing. I don't know what the brand is. Ah! Just not getting my fish. Well, you kind of need a cooler of beer if you're gonna speedrun this game. Kind of need a cooler of beer to watch this speedrun too. Hopefully everyone has time to go to the fridge if you have one. If not, go to your local store, purchase some, and then come on back. I'll be around still. That looks like a pike. Yep. Good job, Nop Slides. Beautiful. 2 on a Monday doesn't matter for a night shift worker. I've drank beer at 7 in the morning after a long, hectic shift. Goes great with cereal, I tell ya. There we go. Come on, don't make me switch to the crankbait to get you up. Yeah, I hate using the frog or anything besides the crankbait, but this thing gets caught in weeds too often. Yeah, KVD had to go play some football. Or soccer if you're an American. So, the speedrunning charts of this game. There's me, and then there's one other runner currently, Brysolf. He has a 230 something. I have a 138. And come on, being aggressive. No, darn, run phase. And to somewhat illustrate how bad the RNG is in this game, I think my sum of best is like 121. The last time Brian and I raced, I went into Lake 3 15 minutes ahead of world record. Got out of Lake 3 20 minutes behind. That is how awesome the RNG is in this game. There is also one other person on Twitch that I want to kind of give a little nod to right now. I saw him play in this game last Friday, I think. Big Willy Wonka. He had some underscores and like numbers after his name. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was Big Willy Wonka, underscores in between each word, and then either 87 or 83, I remember. And he said he wanted to speedrun this game. I told him he was nuts, but I was glad to have him on board. If anyone wants to try playing this game, or if you remember it from your childhood and don't know what you're doing, like a couple people have said, I actually have a tutorial video on my channel that goes through the spots you want to fish on every lake and kind of the techniques you need to use for fighting the fish and for trying to attract the fish to your bait. Yes, 2 people play it. How do we build de facto reeling for this game? I don't know what you mean. Like actually physically acting like you're reeling in on a rod and reel? No idea. Pretty much all you ever hold is A and R. And then you kind of wiggle back and forth on the control pad. On the D-pad, I should say. Oh no, we're talking Zelda 2 in chat now. Enchantress, why would you bring up that game? Hey, alright, little bit of aggression in fight phase. That's a sip of beer right there. I'm guessing that all 3 of those will weigh up to about 16 pounds. And now let's see, how many have I caught so far? I'm at 3. Terrible. So I have to go to backup strats now. Spots that I typically do not fish on this lake. So I got this one first. There's like twigs on the bottom or something like that that really hang up your lure easily. There are 2 spots to cast in this spot. There are 2 areas to to cast in this spot. I'll go with this topwater lure. That's a bluegill. Don't want him. Ooh, I am glad that people are using the black bass emote. Best emote. Thank you, Eon. So, if you weren't here earlier, it might look like I just cast to the exact same spot, but there are 4 different spots that you can fish in each spot that you pick from the boat screen. And when you go to the initial screen, you're placed dead center. And you can kind of cast out and steer where your lure is going to go. So I cast to the mid-left section, the very first one, and found a bluegill. And then cast to the mid-right section and found this big guy. Come on. And he's not cooperating. Hopefully he'll cooperate this time. So just kind of lean the lure to your right, and you'll get into the correct spot. If anyone's wondering, I am currently 15 minutes and 50 seconds behind world record, but who's counting? I mean, a 220 estimate is somewhat generous. I typically finish runs in about 205 to 210. Wow, that fish cooperated. Thank you, fish. I mean, I had hoped to get sub 2 hours, which is really tough. But that ain't gonna happen. Thank you, Speed Racer. In this game, you need all the luck you can get. Alright, so on to the sunken pirate ship spot. Oops, I meant to switch back to a crankbait. This will work okay, maybe. There we go. Found my 5th and final fish, hopefully. I might not even have to go to the sunken pirate ship spot. Now I need to mention, soonish at least, so I'll mention it right now. Lake 3, the one that I'm on currently, actually is a tournament with 3 different rounds. And you have to finish in the top 10 of those 3 rounds to move on. Luckily, those 3 rounds don't all add together. It's just the best of 3 rounds. So once I'm done fishing here, I'll weigh in, and then round 2 and round 3, I will weigh in immediately with 0 fish. And honestly, I have never failed Lake 3. But I do have a password just in case. Oh no, he's shaking! No, bad fish! Okay, I got lucky there. Whew! That's the 50-50 chance that he stays on the line. I just tried to build the tension as much as I could. And the fish decided to cooperate for a little bit by staying on the line. Hopefully he cooperates and gets reeled in within the next, 2 minutes or so. I really don't want him to get stuck on those rocks. When he goes in run phase and decides to dive, so on the left side of the screen, the bottom left, you see how much line I have out and the depth that the fish is at. So right now he's at 48, 49, 48. That's how far away from the boat he is. And the depth, he's right on the surface, but diving down. When the fish is in run phase, you really can't control his diving. When he goes to fight phase or rest phase, you can usually bring him up to the surface. Which is good for 2 reasons. So diving, bad. We want to avoid these rocks that are coming up. Luckily I got him onto the surface. So when he dives, he doesn't jump. Which is bad because we want him to jump so that he tires out. And also, if he dives down and gets stuck on those rocks, yeah, that's extremely bad. I'll just cut the line because he can get stuck for, a half hour or so. Which in a speedrun, and especially in a speedrun marathon, I am never going to put anyone through that crappy viewing. Thank you, Horith the Beard. Thrilling game. I'm sure that was sarcastic, but since you didn't include a kappa, I will assume you're serious. It's quite a thrilling game. I'm shocked the Resident Sleeper emotes haven't been out more in full force. Oh, come on! Oh, 1 foot, and he turned around. What are the 2 arrows on the bottom? So the top arrow is how hard the fish is fighting. The bottom arrow on the bottom is how hard I am fighting. Right now he's in fight phase. I can reel him in, but it really builds tension, which is the gray bar in between the arrows. If that gray bar gets all the way to the right, the line breaks and I lose the fish. So now the fish's arrow has turned slightly green, so he's getting a little bit tired. Every once in a while, a fish will... the triangle will turn green or yellow, and then after a little bit, it'll go back to blue, which is really annoying, because that just costs a lot of time. Hopefully it'll just go to yellow, and then to orange, and then red, and that's when it's really tired, and I can just pull them in. See, now he went slightly back to blue. KVD left. He had to go to his weekly soccer game. KVD was here throughout Lake 1 and most of Lake 2. This fish is just being bad RNG. It's not necessarily a giant. It'll probably weigh about 16 or 17 pounds, judging by where his triangle is when he's in rest phase and when he's jumping. I mean, it's decent, but not a world beater. And there we go. Now I get to go weigh in. And then it's on to Lake 4. So I'm thinking those 14-pounders will all weigh up to about 16. That 16-pounder will be 17, and the 17-pounder I have will be 17. Alright, so another little interesting dynamic. Every 2 hours, the wind and the weather changes on this game. Typically, if you get past 9 o'clock, it's bad. It's a bad lake. Bad for the speedrun. So you really want to be done fishing on a lake. See, I told you, 16 pounds. You want to be done fishing on the lake before the weather changes. The max fish size in this game. So each lake has a lake record. Like Lake 1, the record is 9 pounds and 15 ounces. But you can catch a Lake 2 bass on that lake up to 15 pounds. On Lake 2, you can catch up to, 18 pounds or so. 84.14 isn't very good. But I'm just going to kind of roll with it. Hope I finish in the top 10. I really should. Typically anything above 80 will get you to move on from this lake. So now I'm just gonna go to the dock and weigh in. No luck today with the bass. I love that line. Yep, didn't even fish. Myrrh. Well, thank you, Jay-Z. And again, go weigh in without even dropping a line. Whoa, 90 pounds, third place. Now the final weight. Oh, I finished 6th. And I'm moving on. Plus 25 minutes and 49 seconds as compared to PB/world record. So this is Lake 4. The lake where dreams go to die. I have gotten to this lake like 10 minutes ahead of PB world record. Probably 4 or 5 times. And I mean, it's just brutal. So right now, each cast I make, there is now a 1 in 6 chance instead of 1 in 5 or 1 in 3. So the odds are even worse that I find a fish I want to catch, because they have Lake 4 bass, Lake 2 bass, catfish, northern pike, trout, and bluegill are the possible mutter fish. And hey, that looks like a bass. I'm going to try to 1-foot this thing because it's very dangerous fishing in these logs. I'm not going to set the hook there. Come on, pick it up again. And I will actually try to get this 1-foot catch like 3 or 4 times. I probably should have cast it a little bit farther. Plus 25 megapalm, yeah, it's brutal. That's all RNG, baby. And the lag strats are real right now. All these logs just add up to more sprites that the game can't handle. Come on! Oh! That was so close. Very dangerous, yes. Only because there's a very good chance that this fish could dive down and get stuck on any one of these. Darn. Oh, that was a shock when he picked that one up. I mean, I would love to see a TAS of this. Catch every single fish at 1 foot without a single fight. This game would be finished in like 25 minutes. I don't know of anyone in their right mind that would ever want to put their time into TAS this game, but still it would be cool. I mean, I will admit that I'm not in my right mind for ever speedrunning this game. And here's a couple examples of how if a fish bites the lure but it's past that 1 foot threshold, it will not actually get hooked. So I'm trying to get him to pick up the lure at about 2 or 3 feet, and then hope he bites just before 1 foot, and then swims into the boat for me to land. How often do my friends make jokes about masturbators? Usually I'm the one that's making that joke. My wife and I went ice fishing on Lake of the Woods this year, and I told her that she needed to become a masturbator if she was going to fish with me anymore. Oh, this could be rough. He turned around right away when he bit, and this, honestly, this fish isn't all that big. This is going to be like an 18-pounder. We're really looking for the 20 to 22 pounders on this lake, and most of them will be in that range. On this lake, typically first place is going to be between 92 and 96 pounds. So we want to get over that 96 pound mark. Usually you get over 100 just because this lake just gives you that big of fish. And this is really bad since he's diving. There's potential that he's stuck right now and not ever gonna swim away. I mean, I can do all I want in this situation, and he might. Oh, he kind of swam out of it on his own. Now that he's in fight phase, there's a little bit of hope that he swims out of it again. There we go. Oh, now he's shaking. Thanks, fish. And he's off. I hate this game. Hate it so much. This is why I drink when I play this game. Big fish gets on. Big fish says, nah, I'm not gonna get caught. That's a Lake 2 bass right there. He's only about 14 or 15 pounds. Kapow fight phase. I actually wanted to cast short there, because this area has logs as well. Either the fish is going to be at that 20-foot spot on the left, which he is, and it's a little guy, or he's going to be out in the middle. Alright, off to the next spot. No, I do not want to weigh in. Better than a fish concert. GG, Church of JT, GG. Here we go, there's a nice whale. Want to keep that little 3 or 4 pound bass out of here. And if you're wondering, which you probably aren't, why I don't go for that 1-foot catch every single time, it's pretty much impossible unless the fish is a mutter 30 feet from the boat. If you try to bring it in close to the boat from 50 or 60 feet out, it loses interest at about 20 feet away. Now this is going to be another one in the 18-pound range, and 1 foot, he swam away. Thank you for that. But still, I mean, solid fish. If I catch 5 of these, I'll probably beat the game. Actually finish the run. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna try to play Lake 4 again if I don't get first, but technically you have to finish first to actually complete the run when you're on Lake 4. Now when I hook into a fish that's a world record, that's around, you know, between 21 and 23 pounds, the fight just is actually pretty difficult. So right now, when it's in rest phase and I'm reeling at full bore, the tension doesn't build. But on a world record bass that goes into rest phase and I reel full power, the tension starts to build, and you have to be exceedingly careful with how you reel it in. So that's part of the reason why fighting fish on this lake just takes so dang long. Beep strats. Steel and Bread says this is the best game ever, without a kappa behind it. I will take that for you are being serious. Thank you, Steel and Bread. Can't say Super Metroid is trash, though. Oh, the absolute brilliance of that game cannot be overstated. It is such an amazing game, such an amazing speedrun. Much respect to people who put in the time to learn that game. There's so much tech in that game, too. There's no way I'm ever gonna do it. Come on! Oh! Showed so much promise. No, I really don't play... Aw, jeez. Don't shake free. I really don't play other fishing games. I've played several of them. I mean, and hardly any modern ones. I've played the Black Bass for the original Nintendo system. I've played this. I've played Bassmaster Classic for both Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, which oddly enough, they are very, very different games just between the platforms. Super Nintendo version is much, much easier. I've played, let's see, the Blue Marlin for NES, King Salmon for Sega. That one was actually pretty fun. Hey, alright, that fish somewhat cooperated. Chillness of Super Black Bass. That is absolutely correct. All these runs are super chill. That's part of the reason why people that actually watch me do watch the Black Bass runs, just because it's just so relaxed, so resident sleeper. Yeah, catfish. And I kind of say that you have to be really chill to run this game. If you're one of those angry streamers, you're not going to be very successful. So I was on other games that I've played, other fishing games, besides all that stuff. I actually have played Sega Bass Fishing, the one that was featured at AGDQ this year. And the last one, I think, is Real Fishing, the pun, real spelled R-E-E-L, ha ha ha. Real Fishing for PlayStation 1. Fuzziness wasn't that chill because his run was exciting. And plus, it was only like 12 or 14 minutes long or something like that. I mean, that run was pretty spectacular. I gotta admit, that was really fun. No Eon. I didn't even know there was a Super Black Bass 2 or 3. Apparently they were Japan-only releases. I didn't know that that was actually a thing until I started speedrunning it this game last year, and someone told me in my chat. Oh, by the way, this game had sequels. And I probably just said, why? Why would you do that to yourself, Nintendo? Get away, little fish. Alright, here we go. Another lunker. Legend of the River King. Never heard of it. Oh no! He shook me. He shook free. RNG. At this rate, it's going to be about 2:40 by the time I finish. Hopefully it's not another hour. That would be terrible. But there is that possibility. Luckily, I've found another bass. I mean, probably about 60-70% of the battle on this lake is actually finding fish worth catching. With all this beer I've drank, I kind of have to go to the bathroom. Kind of really have to go, actually. I'll do my best to make it through. Actually, in my world record run, I took a bathroom break between lakes 3 and 4 that lasted about 40 seconds. So maybe that's where the good RNG comes from for Lake 4. You just gotta... When you gotta go, you gotta go. There's fishing in Breath of the Wild. Isn't there fishing in like every single Zelda game post Link's Awakening? Mitchy J, you win chat for the day, man. God, that was one of the funniest things I've ever read. Don't think about running water, even though every second there's waves lapping. I am suddenly reminded of the Simpsons episode where Homer's in New York, eats all that kalkalash, and drinks all the crab juice because he thinks Mountain Dew is just abhorrent. Ah, Flushing Meadows. No, to use bathroom you have to go in tower. Tower. One of the twin towers. He gets up to the observation deck on Tower 1. Bathroom out of order. Use other tower. Don't think about waterfalls? Well, now I have the Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls song in my head. Or the even better Weird Al song, Phony Calls. Please stick to the 7-digit numbers you're used to. Oh, this chat is amazing. Woo. Typically when I stream this game, I only have like 3, maybe 4 people watching if I'm lucky. I think the most I've ever had watching was 14, and that was the very first time I ever streamed it. So this is a completely new experience for me. Highlander, you're in chat. Are you home yet? Come on into the Discord. An in real life fishing stream, probably not gonna happen. I could take video of me fishing if my wife would be willing to do that. Probably not. Come on, get to the surface. There we go. And then just post it to YouTube. It would be hilariously bad. Just like this game. Oh, most definitely world record viewers. This game's never seen so much love, for sure. Really gotta keep this fish on the surface. It's only 5 feet deep in this spot, and there are rocks dead ahead. Typically, since the rocks are 50 feet out, fish don't get caught on there too much, but it's always a possibility. Alright, hey, he's getting tired. Come on. Surface, there we go. This should be another one that's around 18 pounds or so. It's not one of the gigantic fish that we're looking for. Should be okay though. It's possible to influence where the fish swims when it's in rest phase or fight phase. That's it. You can hold left or right. Otherwise, when he's in run phase, like he is, well, like he was right there, it's impossible. The line dynamic at the bottom, so triangle on top is how hard the fish is fighting. Triangle on bottom is how hard I am reeling in. So right now he's in rest phase and he's tired, so I can reel him in. When his triangle goes into the middle-ish of the chart of the screen, that's run phase. I can't do anything. He'll just run, he'll swim away. When it's all the way at the top, that's fight phase. I can reel him in, but tension will build very fast. The line tension is the gray bar in between the two triangles. And if that gets all the way to the right side of the screen, the line breaks. And that's bad. Yeah, GDQ was mentioned, and I did submit it last year for AGDQ 17. But I only did Lake 1 because that one's fairly consistent, being under 15 minutes or so. Alright, typically the fish in this spot is actually fairly close to the boat. So hopefully I find him right here. No? It's not there. Interesting. I could go search for it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna cast to another spot. Wow, completely covered up. Thanks, fish. It looks like a Lake 2 bass, and it is. Forget you. So typically fish in this area are right around this real short weed bed. That is a really small fish. The second cast I made to this area, the fish was in a little bit different spot than I expected and completely covered up by the weeds. So I just learned something today. The game can troll you even worse than it normally does. I just read a reference to The Rock in chat. I'd take pleasure in gutting you, boy. Yeah, that's a catfish. onto the little arrow. It's a little short of where I want to cast. Sound desynced? I don't know anything about that. I am fairly clueless about, hardware and stuff. I mean, if it's just a second or two, it's not going to really be that big of a deal. Alright, so a little trick here. You go out into this area, into the 20-foot area, come back into the same spot. It's actually a little bit different spot. Even though it'll look the same, it's quite a bit deeper. And that was a bust. Alright, time to move on. It's almost 9 o'clock on the game time, which I kind of want to avoid, but it's pretty much inevitable right now. It's true, I wasn't aware that anyone would notice any sort of audio desync on this game. I mean, if you're missing out on the redneck music, it's kind of a big deal. But otherwise, everything else, I mean, should be pretty normal. Oh, that's a Lake 2 bass. Don't want him. The trolling. Terrible. Love the redneck music. Alright, here we go. Finally found another one. And no matter what happens after this fish, this is another 18-pounder, probably. Again, not what we're looking for. This one's a little guy. We're really looking for the 20-pounders. No matter what happens with this fish, I really have to use the facilities. So I'm going to pause after this. Nice. Look at the size of that hog. Trust me, I thought about it. I thought about just going. I thought about using one of my beer bottles. Ooh, good pun. Good job, baked potato. Depends. It's a good one. No hand wash percent. I don't know if I should be embarrassed to say that or not, but I gotta crack open another beer. Speaking of everything that just caused that little pause in action. No, let's see, deck bash. You need 5 of the biggest fish to get past any lake. This lake, if 4 of your big fish are giants, like all 20-pounders, you can get away with catching a Lake 2 bass, which is going to be about 15. But typically that isn't going to work out. I've actually lost world record runs because I caught a Lake 2 bass, which wound up having me lose by like 4 ounces. Right. Let's try to 1-foot this thing. Nope, he's not gonna be able to 1-foot there if he turned around. Nope, not gonna set the hook there. He's gonna swim away now. I'll try it one more time. No, I am not drinking Busch Light. I am drinking Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA. Nate Dogg. It is okay to start day drinking whenever you feel like it. It's afternoon right now. I mean, that's like requirement number 1. It's just gotta be afternoon. Yes! Speedrun strats. Best catch. And honestly, I don't know, man. This run is really bad with the weight of the fish that I've caught. I don't have a single one that's going to be over 20 pounds. So I mean, I might get like 3rd or 4th place in this on this lake, which means unsuccessful run not completed, because the only stipulation to finish is you have to win Lake 4. You have to get first. Otherwise, it's just, you know, get by the lakes any chance you can. There's my sunken pirate ship spot. Coffee and whiskey. If I enjoyed coffee, I might go for that, but I am definitely not a coffee drinker. Hey, come on, is my fish out deep here? He's usually by the sunken pirate ship. That was a little bit unusual to not find a fish right there. Oh, there he is. He's just to the left of my lure, underneath the weeds. I don't know what kind of fish this is going to be, but here he comes. What a jerk. What a hiding spot. And that's a nice bass. Now I really have to contend with him getting stuck on the sunken pirate ship. And honestly, now I've finally found my 20-pounder. This is a big one, folks. Hopefully. I mean, from how the triangle is right now in fight phase, how it's wavering, it's not quite gonna be a lake record. But when it was in rest phase, it seemed like it was up pretty high. Yeah, this one should be in the 20 range. We'll see what it estimates at, but when it weighs in, it should have a really nice fish. Yes, Kesval, speedrun of a fishing game. Best speedrun ever. Oh, it didn't cooperate. This is like the greatest game of all time. I mean, it's comparable to FF7 and Ocarina. I hesitate to say Breath of the Wild, because it's just too early. In 20 years or so, we'll see if that one stands the test of time. £20 choke strats? Ouch! No faith. No faith in my reaction time when the fish jumps. Whoa, ouch! Speaking of jumping and reeling at the same time. Let it sit in rest phase without reeling for a while so that the tension can go down. "10 of 10 game of the year." Thank you, Olakun. I assume you're talking about Super Black Bass. For sure, game of the year. I think this came out in 92 or 93. I honestly don't know. I think it was 93. Is this the Dark Souls of fishing games? Probably. If Dark Souls has terrible RNG, then yes. Ooh, green tomato, talking about sturgeon. Now, actually, in Minnesota, like, fishing for sturgeon is not allowed, like, actually targeting them. But a lot of times on the St. Croix River and up in the Boundary Waters on Rainy River, people catch them. Oh no, shaking! Oh, he stayed on! Please stay on, fish. But catching a sturgeon is kind of one of my life goals. Whoa! Little glitch jump there. Off on the side of the screen. Didn't get the jump animation, but got the really fast tension build. That usually happens when the fish gets stuck on something that's on the surface, like a reed, and his triangle will go down to where it normally is when he jumps, and it gets fixed in a specific spot. It's kind of unusual when it happens in a random area like he just was, but I'm thankful that I survived. This name is banned. Can't make bait electric and shock them. Actually, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, a lot of times to assess fisheries, they do surveys of the lake, both survey what type and how big of fish fishermen catch, and they also catch their own, like in nets and stuff, but catching bass in nets is a very inefficient way to do it. You don't catch very many, so at nighttime, people in the DNR will actually go electrofishing, and that's how they assess the status of a bass fishery. So, for government employees, it's kind of legal to shock fish. Bullshit game, pay to live? Yes, pretty much. I already know that though, but so saying so is pretty much a waste of energy with your keyboard internet warriors typing style. I'm sure typing that raised your self-esteem a little bit, so good for you. I mean, if I catch this fish, at least I'll be under estimate. If I don't, oh man, we could be in here another 20 minutes. I mean, this fish was down to light green for its fatigue. Now it's back up to like almost a greenish blue color. Oh, now it's yellow. Good. I mean, I'm sure any woman in the chat, I say woman as singular because I know only Enchantress of Numbers, that's the only female in this chat, she would be able to tell you what that color was. And yay, now I'm gonna go weigh in, have my 5 fish, 4 of them are small. That one at 19 pounds should weigh up. I'm hoping that all my estimates have been under by about 2 pounds. Otherwise, this will be a failed run. Oh, look, and now it has started raining. And actually, rain is really, really good fishing. Yeah, 84-pound estimate is actually really, really low. So, I might not even beat the game on this. So hashtag run fails. Something like that. At 95 pounds, yeah, this will be interesting. They better all weigh up 2 pounds. So far they are. I don't know if I'll get to 95.06 though. Anything to just put this run out of its misery though. Oh my god. There we go, 21. Good fish. Hey could be a top record. When it says that, at least you're in the top 3. What was it, 95.06? Oh, I got second. Damn. Oh well, whatever. I'm done with this hellish run. So yes, that right there is technically not a completed run, but it's all RNG, so I don't care. I got second. I'm done with the run. Hopefully the next run goes a lot better. You still get the credits if you finish in the top 3, but so enjoy that at least. So I will sign off. We'll see who's all in Discord and all coming up. So whoever's hosting, you may take over right now. I will cut stream whenever you say so. Well, even though it was a poor run at best, thanks for the GGs, everybody. Hey, Sun Guardian, fellow Minnesotan. I hear Fiesel's sweet dulcet tones.
That's right, follow this runner. There you go, follow links in the chat. Well, the next thing we have coming up here is going to be... What do we have? We have Mortal Kombat 2 up next. That's going to be fantastic with Vega. It's going to be great, so stick around, guys.